Hello, students. This is Mrs. Lee here. I pray that you are having a wonderful class period with your substitute and are being helpful, encouraging, and very focused. I wanted to give you a little lesson on what we're going to do for the thinking today about our characters. So we've been looking deeply at our characters. We've been looking at the times that they show more than one trait. When Johnny was not talking to the girls at the drive-in, was he being shy? Or is he being respectful? So as we looked at those different traits, we looked at some different ways that we could analyze deeply our characters. Today, your strategy is that you are going to know that some traits matter more than others because they affect the rest of the story. So this strategy I have right now for you. It's also going to be on your screen soon. And we're wanting to look at, because of the events that take place after the character demonstrates that trait, we're choosing that one as a key strategy, a key trait of that character. So let me show you with Johnny. I'll go over Johnny today, and then in small groups of 3 of the same color chair as you are going to go over the traits of all of our characters and looking at all of the different traits that they have, listing them out. And then of those traits, which one was the most important because it affected events that took place later on in our story. So let me show you what this looks like with our friend Johnny. Thank you for your patience. Here we are. Can you still see my screen? I think you can. Okay. Now you can see my screen. All right, so our friend Johnny has demonstrated a lot of different traits. He has been shy, as I said earlier. He was respectful. He was caring. We also saw Johnny as soft, described as that dark little puppy that got been kicked too many times. He has been fearful. He's been loyal. Sometimes he's been stoic, even when horrible things have happened to him. Johnny hasn't reacted. So if we're thinking about which of those traits of Johnny mattered most to the rest of the story, I'm thinking related to him killing Bob in chapter 4. And I would say, in my opinion, loyalty to Pony Boy, our friend, loyalty to our friend Pony, and as he's described it, he said, "You were being drowned, Pony Boy." So that was his loyalty to Pony Boy. And they were going to come for me, and I didn't have anywhere to defend myself. So both his fear of the Socius led to Johnny using self-defense to attack Bob with the switchblade. Probably getting me a C- right now from my typing and spelling as I'm trying to do this and teach you. Thank you for your grace. So what would we say? So I said loyalty was one trait, as well as his fear. And ultimately, because of his loyalty and fear, we see Johnny doing something he never has really done before, is that he was brave. So this one moment where Johnny was cornered, his best friend was in the pond, the fountain being drowned, this one moment of brave action impacted all subsequent actions of the story. They're now at the church. They've run away. They are trying to hide and cut their hair and disguise themselves because of what happened with Bob. So all of that tying back to the traits we see of Johnny, of all of them, his loyalty to Pony, his fear of the Socias, and that led to him being brave ultimately in that moment when he needed to save his friend and defend himself. So friends, this is what you're going to do today in groups. You're going to write your names of your group members here at the top. And then you are going to continue with your own characters. So you might start with Derry. Maybe you're going to do Winston. Maybe you're going to do Sherry. And you have two more choices of other characters, or you can choose the characters you'd like to. In this first column, you're just going to list all of the character traits you've seen at any point in the story. And then for this final column is you're going to say which one trait matters more because it affects the story that comes after that. So I know that I gave examples of loyalty, fear led to the bravery, but try to get as clear as you can to eliminate, okay, so the fact that Johnny was soft, okay, that's not a character trait that's helpful. The fact that he was respectful, not really. The fact he was shy didn't really help. So we're eliminating which ones were not key because they didn't impact this character in that event, and then which one did. I'm thinking about Derry. He's been many things, but an event that Derry, something that was a catalyst event of what Derry impacted in the rest of the story, was related to when Ponyboy came back to the house in the end of chapter 3. So you might want to think through those scenes that really impacted the story and what was the trait the character demonstrated then that caused them to act the way they were acting. I will have you turn this into the basket when you are done with your group today. This should take you roughly 15 minutes. And I'm excited to see all of your wonderful thinking and hard work. Blessings. And I will see you when I'm back on campus. Bye, friends. Thank you.